guys, what's up? Welcome back. My name is Taz. Today's video we're going to hopefully do the Patrick Ta Danger Dimension palette. We're not duping the cream, but we're duping the powder 10 shades. So yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing the comparisons between all the palettes that I found and the actual dupe, then please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share with your friends. I would really appreciate that. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay guys, so here is another view of the palette. If you have not seen my last video, then I'm going to link you to it. You can check that video out. So I think I'm just only going to swatch the powder just on the back of my hand, and we can start comparing palettes to palettes. First up, let's go into the Tati Beauty palette, and I'm going to swatch a few that I thought is quite similar. So I think, yeah, let's go ahead and kind of see. Okay, so Sequin, I'm gonna place it here. And I'm also going to swatch this shade right here because it's a true matte. I'm just gonna place it right next. Wow, that is so close. And I'm just gonna might as well swatch the Sequin and place it right here just to see how close these get. You guys can see the tones are quite similar. And let's go into the darkest matte. And let's just place that right here, which I already did. I'm sorry if my camera cuts off here and there. And I'm going into the Soothe Sequin, and I'm placing it here already, so you guys can see the tones are very close. Dark chocolate shimmer. I'm gonna swatch the shimmer Ritual Metallic. I'm gonna place it right here. Wow, the tones of that is identical as well. Alright, so that is the Tati Beauty. So this is the Patrick Ta, and that's the Tati Beauty. So we found like 6 shades out of the 10 shades that are quite similar. Okay, next up, I want to swatch the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look of Love palette, just because there's some neutral tones, and this shade right here reminds me so much of the shimmer, the orange shimmer shade in there, and there's some like neutral tones, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. They not look identical, the shade and this shade. So this is the Charlotte. This is this shade right here, and this is the Patrick Ta. I would say Charlotte's looks a bit more like smoother. It's this shade, and that's the Patrick. I'm re-intensify that. Alright, next shade, I want to swatch the bronzer, and I think the bronzer may look quite similar with this shade right here. To swatch the face highlight, which is right here, the face highlight, and I'm gonna put it here. And they look kind of different. I'm gonna do the eyes number 3 right here. And let's place it right here. Eyes. So that's the comparison for Charlotte's Instant Look of Love. Yeah, I actually kind of just mainly want to compare the glittery shades because that's what it reminds me of. The next palette up, let's quickly compare the mini Nude palette to the Patrick Ta. So this can go here. They're quite bright, even though it's more of a metallic instead of glitter. And the last shades, I think, let's compare these dark brown. Yeah, this brown really reminds me of this shade right here. And the tones are really identical. Tones are quite similar. And next, an oldie but a goodie friencation palette, just because I feel like there's some tones that might be quite identical, right? First, the chocolate, the minute of the row, and this these 5 shades. Let's see. So this goes here. And it's more pink. And let's do this here. Oh, quite identical shade. And then the last shade, should we do here or here? Maybe here. Alright, this is deeper. Goes here. Alright, so that is the friencation, and also I want to swatch this shade, Just a Kiss, to the glittery shade. This is the shade from Fun-cation called Just a Kiss, and I want to compare that to this shade and this shade, just to see if it's any close. Alright. So this is our friencation palettes, Desi and Katy, and that is the portrait top. Okay, last but not least, let's go into the Colourpop Nude palette. If you already have this, do you need the portrait top? Alright, so let's go into swatching. So I'm going to swatch the first shade against the first. The bright metallic, I think maybe it goes here. Wow, look at how pigmented the Colourpop is. Alright, I'm gonna wipe it off. Okay, I think the third shade, let's do, okay, let's just swatch it next. And the fourth, maybe here. Fifth, let's do this. That might be a little off, but I kind of want to swatch it next to this. Yeah, it's a little orange. Okay, I want to do the shade called Coca. Coca seems like a red tone type of a shade. That here. Okay, that's a little too red. Lap of Locks. Lap of Locks. I'm going to place Lap of Locks here. And the shade Moody. I'm going to place Moody right here. Ooh. Moody is here. The shade that you see is the Colourpop Nude palette versus the portrait top. Not exactly the same. No, anyway, I kind of want to swatch this next to this just to see if the tones. Okay, tones are a little off. Nude. Some shades are a little too cool or too red, but I feel like the concept are quite similar. So I think I'm gonna take the color off and I'm going to trying to actually dupe the palette so you guys can see what's the most similar, and I will come back and let you guys know what I think about the dupes. Okay you guys, I think I have duped the portrait top palette. It took me a minute, but I do want to show you guys what palette I use for what shade, just in case if you guys are curious or you might already have these palettes laying around. You can definitely make your own. So these are the shades that I found that is quite identical. I'm gonna show you guys this shot under natural lighting, natural sunlight, so you guys can have more of an idea of the shades that I use. The first shade I use Aura Sequin mixed with Craftworks and the So Very Lovely palette. Second shade I use the shade Necessary from the Fun-cation palette. For the third shade I use the shade Churro. For the fourth shade I use the shade Soothe from the Mini Nude palette. For the fifth shade, I use the shade Ritual Matte. For the very first glittery shade, I use the shade Mighty Morphin from Colourpop. For the second orange glittery shade, I use the Instant Look of Love Pretty Blush Beauty. This is the first shade called Brighten. Soothe Sequin for the next shade up. Mix the two shades from Colourpop. This is the shade Run Wild. This is the shade in Exquisite, Ultra Metallic. I mix the two together. For the very last metallic shade, I used Ritual Metallic. Guys, that's it for today's swatch for my Sanity. Trying to dupe the Patrick Major Dimension palette. Comment down below, let me know if you guys already have picked up the palette. What are your thoughts? What are some of the palettes that you want me to dupe next? I'm thinking maybe the Melt palettes. Comment down below, let me know which palette you want me to dupe. And that's it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoy and find this video helpful. If you do, please don't forget to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.